and Lubin got more nuts than Boots because they fall fighting each other. Virgil Ortiz got more nuts than Boots. And check this out. Jaleel fucking Hackett got more nuts than Boots. He trying to fight his Zayas. Boots could at least came out and asked for that fight. You think? Everybody got more nuts than that man, bro. He's a coward, man. He's a coward, and it's gonna start to unravel the more and more it goes because he don't believe in himself. He gonna keep everybody in Philly as long as he can. But when people start asking for the real fights, and y'all will start, and then he starts to talk to the actual community and the actual boxing people and pundits that actually mean something that matter. That's not YSM. That's why I don't even be over there no more. Why you ain't gonna see me in their chats no more because they lost in the sauce. I was watching the live that Jamil did one day. That's why I stopped altogether. And I was watching him and I was looking at his eyes. I'm like, this nigga is he like a zombie because he told a bold-faced ass lie, and I knew he was lying. But his eyes looked like he believed it. But I knew he was lying, and I know he lying. You feel what I'm saying? I watched this man on live. I said, "Oh nah, bro." That's why I ain't text him because it was like, he lost. It ain't about what's true no more. It ain't about what's true. It's just all about what he want people to believe. That's it. And you're talking about a supposedly reputable source in YSM putting out media. You're supposed a supposed reputable source, but I'm looking at you tell a lie that I know for a fact is a lie. I watched you say it. You feel me? So it is what it is. That's why you don't see me over there. I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing in their comments no more. They just over there wallowing in a bunch of shit. Straight up, they wallowing in a bunch of shit over there, bro. They just swimming. They swimming in trash, trying to find their way out. Nobody has said they always say when it comes to certain people, when they doing good things, who have they beat? But they never said about that guy. When it's obvious who has he beat. His biggest fight was against a guy with 15 fights, whose biggest fight was against a guy with 6 fights. That's his biggest fight. That's a fact. His biggest fight in 28 years, 34 fights, was against a guy with 15 freaking fights. 15. And that guy's biggest fight was against a guy with 6 fights. Come on, bro. What we talking about? What we talking about? You know what I'm saying? what we talking about, man? It's crazy, man.
When reporters ask about Lima, about if he could oppose any type of danger, he says no. Do you feel? And the next question goes, do you feel anything in the media of people talking about you not taking tough competition, notable names? He said no. Do you feel like that hits it's saying that people are just basically talking shit, while you see a lot of big media, a lot of big end coaches talking about, yo, he needs these names. Now we get this type of interview that comes in. I mean, what do you think? I mean, I'm looking at the comment section from almost every channel, and he's
that's why I
getting
ain't gotta
killed.
talk. Yeah, that's why I ain't gotta talk no more. They see it. The world see it. But let's remember, world, I was number one. I was the number one in all of them chats telling y'all all of that because I already knew firsthand, verbatim, that they was some cowards, that they some frauds. I already knew that. I've been trying to tell y'all that because I peeped how they was moving and I peeped how they was trying to slither and slide. And I kept telling everybody from the very start, I was first in all of them comments. I was like, no, you're not, because he ain't gonna fight nobody. He's not gonna do this. He's not gonna do that. He said in Stanionis' fight, his biggest fight, when asked what does Stanionis bring to the table, you know what he said? Nothing. He just stand there, he throws a lot of punches, blah, 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 woo, this and that, whatever, right? I'm going to do what I do, ain't no we ain't seen before. That's what he said about his biggest opponent. He said he don't bring nothing to the table. But you brought your biggest opponent pretty much home field advantage in Jersey, 45 minutes down the street, and you paid him a lot of money that you wouldn't pay your actual biggest opponent, that you didn't want to pay that guy. So that's what you did. So now fast forward. Your next opponent after your biggest opponent, you say you want a tune-up. Why do you need a tune-up in 6 months? Why you need a tune-up for a fight that happens 6 months after your last fight? Who needs a tune-up for that? What are you tuning up for? Was your biggest fight not a tune-up? Was the biggest fight against the guy that you know what I mean? So now asked yesterday, how do you feel about this guy? He just comes forward, throw a lot of punches. Ain't nothing. He telling you, bro.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? He telling you right there. He telling you. But in another interview, in the same thing, man, I'm going to knock Karen out, man. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. After the fight, I couldn't get up for him. I already beat him 12-0, man. I couldn't do it this time, man. I know he punched me in the face, man, but I knew he couldn't hurt me, man. And I'm paraphrasing here, but that's pretty much how it went. He came back telling y'all how he was gonna do him dirty next time, how he gonna get him out of there next time, how he gonna do this. Karen came out there, took it straight to him, right in his face. He went and then him and his fans went to talking about how he was moving up. He got to fight with Virgil. He got offered to fight out to Virgil. Oh no, I can't take that fight. I'm staying down here. Like it's an excuse for.
Hey man, say man, what it do, still with the camp. Shine like a little big boss, all boss dog, can't poke through the door. Hit the top, this back, fuck about soliloquy. Remember tough times don't last, good people do, don't know yourself. Caught them in the highlight, me be mad at peak game, ready for us what's swing. It's a beautiful day in this Texas. Your boy woke up box today. Hand feel about 70%. It's my jab hand. Then I don't know, I felt slow today. Yesterday I felt fast. You know what I mean? This is the thing. I had 10s on today. So I had 10-ounce gloves on today. I felt slow. Yesterday I had 16 ounces on. And I felt fast yesterday. So I don't know. That's weird. But it is what it is. Let's talk boxing. So Brian Norman Sr. was interviewed at Mill City Boxing. Shout out to Mill City Boxing. And we clutched up. You know what we're talking about. And he was talking about Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, look, I've been very critical of Jaron Boots Ennis and his decision making. But Brian Norman Sr. went ham on him. And if you look at the comment section, they really going ham on him. So the reason why he's going ham on Jaron Ennis, is because of the fact that Jaron Ennis was asked that he watched the Canelo Crawford fight, which he said he didn't watch it, right? Which peed a lot of people off, right? A lot of people are upset. They're like, oh, how can you? Oh, you're hating. You're hating on Crawford. You always had this little hatred towards Crawford. Then, they say, oh, how can you hate when, you ducking smoke at 54 and you ain't fight Virgil Ortiz? You talking about you want 2 tune-ups. He's so-called out this great fighter in the gym and all this, that, and the third, but he ain't fought no real compo. Just a lot of bashing Jaron Boots Ennis. Look, Brian Norman Sr. not qualified to speak on Jaron Boots Ennis because his son was linked to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. So that's not coming from a place of where he's thinking clearly. He don't like Jaron Boots Ennis. He thinks his son can beat Jaron Boots Ennis. So I get it if it was somebody totally not involved with the situation and they were saying that, I'll be like, I'll take it. Now, granted, some of the stuff he was saying was true, right? Boots ain't, he moved to 54 and he fighting this Lima dude. I'm like, well, for what? You are a unified champion at welterweight, right? You might move up and fight a champion or move up and fight Virgil Ortiz. Like, how do you, I've been critical of him in that. I'm not going to cap. But Brian Norman can't be the one that be critical, right? You can't. Because if your son in a big fight, but if your son don't beat Devin Haney, right? A dude who ain't fought at the welterweight, he ain't fought at 47 yet. Devin Haney get up there and beat the brakes off your son, you kind of got to go in hiding. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk. So it's just like a lot of talking. That's one thing I don't like about boxing. It's too much talking, right? Too much talking when it comes to guys that you not finna fight. Your son not finna fight Jaron Boots Ennis. Your son at 47. You know what I'm saying? Your son at 47, man. He ain't at 54. He ain't gonna go to 54 and fight Boots. Right? So that's the thing. Like, why are you even talking about it? Like, me personally, if they would have asked me that question, you know, and they'd been like, do you believe that Jaron Boots Ennis, you know, do you believe that Jaron Boots Ennis didn't watch the Canelo Crawford fight? I don't know. That would have been my answer. I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? That would have been my answer. I don't know and I don't care. Yo, hey, I mean, and I'm like, respectfully, they ain't got nothing to do with me. Boots at 54, my son at 47. We were once linked to each other, but hey, it ain't happening. So let's change the subject. That would have been my answer. Nah, this boy, nah, Boots, he a B, man. His dad real, but he a B word. And Boots a Bud hater. That's what it is. Jaron Boots Ennis is a Bud hater. He hates Bud, right? He's supposed to do all the things that Bud do, but better. But, you know, I heard through the grapevine, he was getting whooped this morning. What does that mean? You know, what that got to do with you? You better hope your son do what he's supposed to do against David Haney. That's what I'm saying. Because you doing all this talking. This is why I don't like these fathers and these boxers, because they talk too much. They come from a place of emotion. They don't think logically. They just be saying stuff. Granted, I'ma say some of the stuff he was saying about Boots was true, right? Matter of fact, a lot of it what he was saying was true. But at the end of the day, you're not the guy that need to be saying it, because your son was linked to Boots, right? And you're a dad. You're a dad. What do I mean? Your fighter is your son. So you're not going to think logically and be able to answer a question logically to a guy that was linked to your son, that you wanted your son to fight, right? And there's a reason why you wanted your son to fight him, right? Tell you why. Because of the fact that there's rumor that Boots was beating the brakes off your son in the gym. So you wanted to basically get that boy under the lights, which is nothing wrong with that. So you can say, look, Boots, man, whooped my son in the gym, but we whooped him when it counts, right? So that's all about saying, man. He not the one to be talking like that. Right? That's all I'm saying. He not the one that to be, you know, and that's what I'm saying. If it was somebody from like out away from the situation, even Bernie the boxer, right? He linked to Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford was linked to who? Boots, right? So his opinion of Boots, Bernie boxer is linked to Bud. Excuse me. So his opinion of Boots is gonna be kind of skewed a little bit because of the fact that he was linked to a fighter that Bernie the boxer will scream to the end of the earth for, which is Terrence Crawford. Bernie the boxer be like, Terrence Crawford's the best. Yeah, Terrence. That boy gonna start pop locking. I'm telling you, bro. Like, that's what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Off the muscle. Do I think Jaron Boots Ennis can beat Brian Norman? Yes. Off the muscle. Right? That's just what it is. Do I think I think he stops Brian Norman. Not gonna lie to you. Brian Norman a good fighter. Don't get it twisted. But I think Boots is skillful and he just too much for Brian Norman. He got too much in his arsenal. Right? That's real talk. You know what I'm talking about? But this not about that. You know? He talking like, he talking crazy like, yeah, man, you know, Bozy a real one. Boots, man, he a faker, man. He a punk, man. I'm like, dang, bro, you talking like you finna fight him or something. You know what I mean? Let your son say that, bro. Like, these dads get out of control. Right? You know what Danny Garcia do when his dad start getting out of control? That. And his dad be like, my bad. My bad, Danny. Danny, my bad. Danny Garcia. My bad, my son. All that, like, what? Like, bro, that's what he do. When Danny Garcia dad start getting animated, Danny tell his dad, hey, dad, chill. Okay, Danny. Right? These other dudes, Devin, scared of his daddy. He don't tell him nothing. And Brian Norman Jr., he don't tell his dad. I'm telling you, hey, Dad, look, we ain't doing that, man. Like I say, I was raised by my dad. My dad's disciplinarian. Put hands, fist, feet on me. You know? But it come time where you got to stand on your 10 as a man and be like, Dad, nah, we not doing that. You know what I mean? We ain't doing all that talking. If anybody gonna be talking, it's gonna be me. Let me do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to. So, I think, man, when it boils down to it, bro, we just gotta. He better hope that his son beat Devin Haney. I'm telling you, his son don't beat Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff you talking is null and void. And I think the only reason he got mad is because Jaron Ennis was like, Brian Norman ain't good. You know what I mean? He was like, Brian Norman is not good, bro. I don't know why y'all keep bringing this dude up. And and like I said, I won't say he ain't good. I'll just say this. My bad. We got some horrible drivers in Texas, man. These boys driving slow in the morning. But I won't say he ain't good, but he's not as skillful as Boots. You know what I mean? He ain't on that level. Right? So going into that fight, he would have to have a good fight plan. He have to execute it to the maximum. That's just real talk. But we shall see how this thing go. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Bye, again.